How's it going, my beautiful people? My current credit card setup has slightly changed since the last time I made an update video. So today, I want to go over what's in my wallet now and why I made the changes that I did. I recently added one of the biggest additions to my wallet, which I also made a video about a couple weeks ago. That card is the Capital One Venture X. I'll be honest, I was a little slow to pick it up, but let me tell you why I decided to make it a part of my setup. The biggest selling points for me on this card was the fact that I could easily justify the annual fee and the fact that it has a 2x reward multiplier on general purchases while also being a Visa and having no foreign transaction fees. As you might already know, the Venture X has a $395 annual fee, but you could cancel out that cost by using just two benefits: the $300 annual travel credits and a 10,000 anniversary Capital One miles. Personally, I'm not a big fan of going through a travel portal to buy flights or hotels, but the Capital One travel portal might make me change my mind. I know it varies from person to person and flight to flight, but I have found that most of my flights that I see on Google Flights are the same price or slightly cheaper than flights found on travel portals. But usually booking directly is not going to be more expensive than booking through one of the portals. Then the second concern I have with travel portals is that I have heard scary stories when they book a flight through the portal and that customer has to make some sort of change, whether the flight is delayed or they need to cancel it, etc., and they had a hard time doing that. Personally, the few flights that I have booked through a travel portal, they ended up going smoothly, so I didn't have to call anyone to make any adjustments. If you have had a poor experience booking through a travel portal, let me know down below because I know there are some of you out there that have some of these stories. Anyway, the Capital One travel portal addresses at least half of those problems or concerns with the price match tool. Capital One will refund the difference for the price of a flight, hotel, or rental car as travel credits if you find a better price on another site within 24 hours of booking through the Capital One travel portal. For example, if you go onto United and search up a flight, sure, you have economy, business, or first class, but you only see one price per class. There's one price for economy, one price for business, and one price for first. Whereas with a hotel, you have member rates, non-member rates, prepay and save rates, all for the same room. And the way the Capital One travel portal price match guarantee policy works is that the rate has to be available to the general public and cannot be a member rate. Even if that membership is free, like the Hilton member tier, it will not be able to qualify for a price match guarantee. The other drawback about Capital One's price match guarantee policy is that you get the difference between the two prices back to you in travel credits in the Capital One portal, which can only be used for purchases through that same portal. But even with those drawbacks, it's still better than having no price match guarantee. I just got this card a couple weeks ago, so I haven't used the travel portal yet. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated with any future experiences that I have with it. The 10,000 anniversary miles won't hit my account until next year, so I have a lot of time to think about how I'm going to use them. But if you were to ask me right now, I would try to redeem them by transferring them to one of the travel partners and hopefully get more than $100 worth of value. The worst case scenario for those points is that I use it to book travel through the Capital One travel portal, which is going to be a solid $100 worth of value right there. The 2x reward multiplier on the Venture X works out for me because the only other card I have that earns 2x on general purchases is the Amex Blue Business Plus. The Venture X will come in handy when I'm traveling abroad and I want to earn 2x on those general purchases without having to pay a foreign transaction fee. And it's a Visa, which means it's going to be accepted virtually everywhere that accepts credit cards. That's it for this premium travel credit card. And let's move on to the second travel or premium travel card that I have, which is the Amex Platinum. I know there are a lot of benefits and credits that come with this card, but personally I am able to easily take advantage of almost all of them, which makes this card such a powerful asset in my wallet. Honestly, it's probably one of, if not my favorite card that I own still yet. Obviously, it's not a great credit card to earn points with. Yes, most of or all of my flights are booked using this card. And yes, I booked the occasional hotel to take advantage of the hotel credits or fine hotels and resorts benefits. And yes, I also use this card to activate the other benefits and credits. But other than that, the Amex Platinum does not see a lot of action. A lot of its power is working behind the scenes with the benefits that come with it. I know you might already know this, but if you are a heavy traveler, or even if you travel like 3 to 4 times a year, having the Amex Platinum card will help you a lot. It provides you with most of the things that you need for travel, or at least are essential, bare minimum, like TSA pre-check / global entry, clear membership, airline credits, hotel credits, Uber credits, and the list goes on. Every year I manage to get at least $1,000 of value from this card. So you can see why it's such an easy keeper card for me to have. Most recently, I have used the hotel credits and the fine hotels and resorts benefits on a stay at the Four Seasons on the Strip in Las Vegas. We only stayed there for one night, so the $200 cut that room rate in about half. And let me tell you a story about the $100 experience credits. So at check-in at the Four Seasons, they give you a list, just like every other fine hotels and resorts property, or like a little briefing to tell you that, oh, this is how you could use the Amex fine hotel and resorts benefits, etc., blah, blah, blah. And they said we have $100, the experience credit, to spend at the on-site spa. So just out of curiosity, we went to the spa and I inquired about some fancy service or basically whatever service that I thought was interesting and to see if there was availability. Unfortunately, there were no openings for anything that I wanted, so I was kind of bummed out at first that this credit would be gone to waste. But I wasn't quite ready to let that $100 just slip through my hands yet, and you guys shouldn't either. Instead, we went to the front desk and I explained the situation, and they were kind enough to say, hey, that's totally fine. Instead, we'll apply this $100 credit to your food and beverage charges during your stay, which apparently happens quite often. So please go ahead and try and ask the front desk if you encounter a situation like this. And what do you know? That led to a free room service dinner and a free drinks by the pool. During that stay, we did not get a free upgrade, unfortunately, but we got the other usual fine hotels and resorts benefits like the early check-in, late checkout, and daily breakfast for 2 people. This all happened last year, so for this year, I decided to use my hotel credits in Uruguay at the Fasano Punta del Este, which is another fine hotels and resorts property. I won't be going to that hotel until the end of May, so once I'm back from that trip, I'll let you know how my experience went with the Amex Platinum yet again. To be fair, my other travel card, the Venture X, has the Premier Collection, which is supposed to rival against the Fine Hotels and Resorts Collection. So I am curious to try out that service and those benefits and credits to see if they compete to the experiences I got with the Amex Platinum. The other Amex card that I have in my wallet that used to be one of my favorite cards, but now I barely use anymore, is the Amex Gold. The reason why I don't like this card as much anymore is because I mainly shop at Costco now for groceries, so they don't take American Express, so I can't get 4x on groceries. And the other reason is that I don't use the monthly dining credits as often as I used to, or as naturally as I used to in the past, so now it's kind of becoming a hassle. I will not be downgrading or canceling this card quite yet, however, because I do want to pick up the Capital One Saver One in the near future and kind of combine the Uber One membership from that card with the Amex Gold. Word on the street though is that the Amex Gold may be getting a refresh sometime soon, so that's always exciting. Hopefully they could actually add value to this card because we all know that they are going to raise the annual fee. And if they do that without adding value, for me, I will have no problem getting rid of it. Another travel related card that I use is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I have yet to do the streaming multiplier trick, but I do use this card for the 2x travel expenses, which could come in handy. Also, of course, I use this card to be able to transfer my Chase points to a travel transfer partner and also to redeem my Chase points through the travel portal at a 1.25% per point valuation. Just a little side note about this card, and if you travel to Japan, is that you cannot use it to top off your Pasmo or Suica cards when you add them to your Apple Wallet on your phone. The Pasmo and Suica cards are like the public transportation cards you use around Japan to ride the subway and etc. You can even use it to pay for stuff at the vending machines or convenience stores. Basically, you're gonna use those cards if you go to Japan. And I like adding those cards to my phone because you just tap your phone and use the mobile pay, Apple Wallet, whatever, on those little ticketing booths or at the vending machines. And it's super easy, super convenient. However, what's not easy or convenient is that for some reason, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card does not work when you try to add more credits on the Suica or Pasmo cards through your iPhone. I don't know why. You're gonna have to use another card. And sometimes I use this next card, which is the Bilt card, and it's also a card that I use every month and I absolutely love having. As you might imagine or guess, I do use that card to pay rent, but I do use it sometimes to top off my Japan Pasmo and Suica cards that I talked about earlier. Yes, I would normally earn 1x on those purchases because it doesn't code as a travel transaction with Bilt, but if you are in Japan around the first of the month, you could take advantage of the 2x general purchase reward multiplier. So just load up a bunch of credits on your Pasmo and Suica cards on the first of the month, maybe the first of the month before you go on the trip, because I know that you're going to use the Pasmo and Suica cards, and that way you have no foreign transaction fees when you make that purchase with your Bilt card, and also that card has no annual fee, which makes it a better card. And Bilt keeps adding stuff to their program. For example, they just added Hilton as a travel transfer partner. This card is already so good and so useful, so let's see how much better they can make it as time goes on. Other cards that I use frequently are these two Chase Inc. Business Unlimited cards. They are my general catch-all credit cards for my business expenses because I find it helpful to separate as many business transactions as you can from your personal transactions. Yes, they only earn 1.5% back, which is a shame, but at least it's Chase points, so I could always use more Chase points. I also recently created an LLC, so I'm going to add more Inc. business cards to not only my personal social security number, like those ones, but also to my LLC. I'm thinking about waiting for another increased sign-up bonus offer on those Inc. cards, but I also don't want to wait too long since we just had one 5 months ago or so. So I don't know when Chase is going to feel generous again and give us another elevated offer. Of course, my name ain't Chase for no reason, because another card that is fun to use and I like to use often, or at least once a quarter, is the Chase Freedom Flex. Every quarter I find a 5% reward multiplier and I try to max it out. This quarter I am abusing the Amazon purchase category, or if you guys have this card, you might want to take advantage of the restaurants category this quarter as well. The reason why I don't use this Chase Freedom Flex on restaurants right now is because I was able to activate the referral bonus on the Amex Platinum, which is going to earn me 10x on restaurant purchases worldwide for the next 2 months or so. Which, by the way, if you have the Amex Platinum card and you're able to get a referral to a friend or family member, etc., check your Amex app because you also may be eligible for that same 10x reward multiplier on restaurant purchases, which is kind of amazing, kind of a lot. As for the cards that I have pushed to the back burner, there is really 2 of them. And the first is the Amex Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card. So far, I just use this card to take advantage of the monthly dining credits. However, this credit is better than the Amex Gold's dining credit because it will trigger on any restaurant transaction. It's super easy to use. I also have not stayed in a Marriott this year, although I'm trying to still get titanium status, even though I'm in a bit of a pickle now and it's getting late. On the plus side, I get my first annual free night award later this year with the Amex Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, so I'll definitely be staying in the Marriott sometime, but I'm gonna have to work really hard on this titanium status if I want to get it still. Then the second card is the Amex Blue Business Plus card, which we kind of talked about earlier and has kind of been replaced by the Capital One Venture X. I also don't put many business expenses on this card because right now I'm trying to work on getting more Chase points since I'm getting a decent amount of Amex points through Rakuten already. I'm also trying to finish my Capital One Venture X sign-up bonus. So I'm trying to balance out my Chase and Amex points by spending more on Chase credit cards. That's it for the cards that I have now in my wallet. So far this year, I've only added the Capital One Venture X to my arsenal, whereas last year I got 6 credit cards, so I definitely am looking to get more cards throughout this year, which means I'll be rotating more cards in and out of my wallet. Other than that, thank you guys seriously so much for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I also hope you don't stub your pinky toe on tables for the next month at least, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, shoot.